Well, we're moments away now from a renewal of a great rivalry, Texas-Arkansas. It's been especially great the last 10 years because the two coaches involved who are great friends, Frank Broyles of the Razorbacks of Arkansas and Darrell Royal of the University of Texas. And now going to the center of the field, we have on the far side, number 16, Jim Street, the quarterback, Ted Coy, the halfback, and defensive linebacker Glenn Halsell, number 67 for Texas. On the near side, we have Jerry Dossey, Cliff Powell, and number 34, Bruce Maxwell, along with Brand, number 57, who has been designated an All-America. And you'll see why when you see him play. So now let's go down on the field to the referee, Carl Landis.
Who will be your field judge, Mr. Lawson, who will be your head linesman, Mr. Schrader, who will be your umpire. Texas, you're the visiting team, and who will call the toss? Captain Street, I'll toss the coin in the air, and I'll catch it in my hand like this. If I drop it, we will toss it again. Will you call the toss in the air, please? You call tails, he called tails, and it is his. You won the toss. You will defend that goal. Captain, will you receive or kick? You will receive. Look around, gentlemen, with your back. Okay, good luck, gentlemen.
Lots of captains here. The game of the year. And as you saw, the Razorbacks have won the toss. And they have elected to kick. And a man that was elected to the presidency. Helicopters now beginning to make their arrival off to the right, to the far side of the end zone. This is one of the, what they call the white tops. And there you see it. There will be 5 of them. It's scheduled that President Nixon will be in the second helicopter. There is a presidential party which will include various congressmen and senators like Congressman Bush. There will be Governor Winthrop Rockefeller of Arkansas, Senator McClellan, Senator Tower, and a host of others. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Right now, Bud, were you surprised Arkansas winning the toss and electing to kick?
No, they've got the wind at their back now with an excellent kickoff man. He's one of the fine kickers at Stockdale. They expect that he will kick it into the end zone and start Texas off 80 yards away from their goal line and then have the wind advantage at their back during the first quarter.
All right, loosening up that leg, wearing that red jersey, the symbol of the Razorbacks in their home territory, and you'll hear them call the Hogs a little bit later on, and there will be hook'em horns on the part of Texas as Bill McClard, number 19, who is a sophomore. He's kicked 7 of 9 field goals, and he's very accurate on points after. 38 of 42. Charlie Spire, you're looking at him right now. What a terrific football player. And on the near side, sophomore Jim Bertelsen, leading ground gainer for the Longhorns, number 35. So, once the receivers touch the ball, the clock starts, and the game is underway. And here's McClard's kick with the wind to his back. It's a good one. Through the end zone. And the adrenaline flowed early here at Razorback Stadium before a capacity crowd. And that means that Texas now will come out to its own 20-yard line, defending their number 1 ranking in the nation with that offensive line. And it's probably the best offensive line in the nation. With a great backfield. From the 20, they're in white with burnt orange trim. The temperature is 39 degrees, but here we go.
And Arkansas will be a 4-3-4, but they'll pack a lot of people up on the line. They have 10 within 5 yards of the ball now.
Charlie Spire to the near side. The quarterback is Street. Converging on Jim Bertelsen, number 35 from Hudson, Wisconsin. A host of Razorbacks, including Dick Bumpus, number 61, 72, Rick Kersey. Cliff Powell was looking on, number 64, now calling defensive signals to the left for Arkansas. And after a 1-yard gain to the 21, it is 2nd down and 9. The second play from scrimmage as you just joined us. Now it's Spire to the far side. The wishbone tee in the backfield. A loose ball, and Arkansas has recovered. Ted Coy fumbled the ball. A first opportunity. There is President Richard Nixon arriving on the scene, and he didn't have an opportunity to see Texas fumbling on the second play from scrimmage. Arkansas recovered, and now they have the ball First and 10 at the 22. Bill Montgomery is the quarterback. They're on the Texas 22. Fake to Burnett. And the pass is intended for Bruce Maxwell from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Razorbacks.
Texas is basically a split six defensive football team. Arkansas will change the spacing of Burnett and Maxwell, the two inside backs, in an attempt to make the inside linebackers for Texas, Halsell and Henderson, cover them in the flat.
After Bill Powell, a junior, defensive player for Arkansas, recovered a Ted Coy fumble. It is now 2nd down and 10 for Arkansas at the Texas 22. No score. A pass way off the mark because of a tremendous rush put on by Scott Henderson, number 61.
As is usually the case in a game with tension high, Chris, the offense takes poise and balance, judgment. The defense comes in awfully high, and at the start of the game, the defense often can dominate, as they appear to be doing momentarily.
Now it's 3rd down and 10. Going to the far side, number 25, Johnny Reese, a speedster. In the slot is Chuck Dicus, an All-American, number 20. From the 22 of Texas, Montgomery. Was he inbound? Yes, he was. Inbounds at about the 2-yard line. John Reese, whom we told you was split to the far side of the field. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about a 20-yard play.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. This is Reese, the wide flanker down the field. Kenny Lester moving right with Reese. Reese appears to be going for the flag route, but he turns a hard sideline break, makes the catch, and you can see his foot hit right along the sidelines, and it was a tough call. He might have been out of bounds.
The underdog Razorbacks have the ball. They have a 1st and goal to go at the Texas 2 as Bobby Nichols, number 27, a sophomore back from Tulsa, comes into the lineup replacing Reese. Maxwell, 34, is the fullback. The tailback is Bill Burnett, as Mr. Nixon now, at his choosing, is going to sit in the stands with all the folks and watch this game. Here we go, 1st and goal from the 2, Arkansas. And Bill Burnett of Bentonville, Arkansas, gets a yard closer. Danny Lester, one of the Longhorns, number 23 on the play, along with Scott Henderson, number 61, 2nd down from the 1.
Let's watch the pass that put them on the 2-yard line again. Reese really turns it down the field. Lester goes with him. It looked like he was going to run all the way into the end zone, but he made a beautiful, sharp sideline break. And this is the tough one to call. I'll let you call it this time. He goes high in the air for the ball. There's the ball in. And it's a very tough one to call. He called that he was inbound.
2nd and goal, and Arkansas leads. Bill Burnett. With Bruce Maxwell blocking. Bill Burnett has scored the Arkansas touchdown, and they lead 6-0. 13 minutes, 33 seconds. And that's very ironic because Bill Burnett's number is 33 on the red jersey. Now trying for the point after is the man who kicked off, Bill McClard. That is Gus Rusher holding the ball, number 17. From our end zone camera. Okay. Timeout at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the score is underdog Arkansas 7, Texas nothing. 13 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter, and if you just joined us, Texas fumbled on the 2nd play from scrimmage following the opening kickoff. Bill Powell recovered for Arkansas, and in 5 plays, they went 22 yards with Bill Burnett scoring, and with the point after, they lead 7-0 and will now again kick to the Longhorns, Bud.
And once again, they did take the wind when they won the toss. McClard is an excellent kicker. He put it through the end zone in the last kickoff. Arkansas believes that he can put it through the end zone again and start Texas off once more on their own 20, 80 yards away from pay dirt.
Bill McClard, he has a lot of TV time already today. She'll have some throughout the day, I'm sure, a Longhorn cheerleader. Arkansas, 15 straight wins, Texas 18 straight. Back deep, we have Bertelsen in the end zone. Number 35, and Cotton Spire turns around, advises him not to run it out, so it'll be a touchback. coming out to the 20-yard line. Arkansas is in the lead, 7-0. And one more time, looking at the breaks of the game by way of videotape, here it is.
This is the catch, and these are the things that make the difference sometimes between who wins and loses. You can see the ball now as it hits Reese's hands. He's diving for it, and watch where he lights. It's a fast play, but you make the decision, and it certainly does look as though he did hit out of bounds.
Charlie Spire to the far side. Texas stays on the ground. And it was Steve Worcester, a great junior fullback, that was stopped by Cliff Powell, number 64. Worcester turns out 3 tough yards for Texas.
And the Arkansas defensive plan, of course, will be to jump around with their linemen and linebackers, attempting to shoot the gap and force the fumbles that will break up the continuity of the Texas running offense.
Texas has not passed yet. They've stayed on the ground. And there is Worcester. Worcester going across his own 25. Let's see where his forward progress was marked. It should be enough for the first down. It is. Texas, 1st and 10. There's the backfield. Street 16, Bertelsen 35, Coy 24, Worcester 30. The ball is on the 30 now. Spire to the far side, number 88. And the Arkansas defense fired up. Immediately in on the play, Bruce James, the defensive end, number 85, in on Worcester, the fullback. And the play is stopped after a yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Longhorns. Last year, Texas won 39-29, and it was the only defeat handed to Arkansas. And there's some more Texas might on the artificial turf. Going across the 35 was Steve Worcester, the fullback again, and he gets up to the 36, a 5-yard gain, 3rd and 4.
And the pattern that Arkansas is using is to jump a linebacker in an upright position on the Texas tight end. Texas is sending the end downfield and then blocking the stand-up man with the lead halfback, who's been doing a good job in the last few plays.
Texas with the number 2 scoring offense, averaging 44 points a game. 3rd and 4. Coy trying to get outside, and the 4 yards did he. The officials looking to the far sideline, the head linesman and his crew, as Dennis Berner, the safety man, and the cornerback Jerry Moore make the tackle at the 43-yard line.
And the balance of the attack, of course, is that tremendous inside fake to Worcester. When he's coming over the ball all the time, you do freeze the middle.
Coy got 7 yards, another first down for Texas. And there's one of the captains, Ted Coy, carrying Bruce James, 85-64, Cliff Powell. Come in to battle him down at the 45. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Arkansas is in the lead, 7-0.
And Arkansas is putting single coverage on Cotton Spire. Texas should be able to throw to him if and when they want to go to their passing attack.
2nd and 8. And Jimmy Street, the leader down on the field for Texas, is stopped by number 61, Dick Bumpus of Fort Smith.
Let's watch Powell, the middle linebacker for Texas, moving to the outside. That's Coy going in to make the block. Powell comes back, moving away from Coy to make the tackle on Street.
32 yards rushing in 9 plays for Texas. 3rd and 2 at the Arkansas 49. There you have Worcester appearing to get the first down. His forward progress stopped at about the 46. He only needed 2 yards on the play. Powell and Jerry Moore, number 18, on the tackle. 3rd first down for Texas in this drive. If you just joined us, when they took the opening kickoff on the 2nd play, they fumbled. Arkansas recovered. They went 22 yards in 5 plays to take a 7-0 lead. Now with 9 minutes, 53 seconds left in the first quarter, Jimmy Street, the Texas quarterback. 1st and 10. And Cliff Powell, number 72, Rick Kersey of Conway, Arkansas, make the stop. at about the 44. There's a gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Roger Harnish, a sophomore, left tackle, also in on the play. Cotton Spire, number 88 at the top of your screen. Wishbone tee behind Street on 2nd and 8. Here's the first Texas pass. Cotton Spire and Arkansas. Terry Stewart, number 24, intercepts. A fumble recovery and now an interception on the very first Longhorn pass.
Let's rejoin the action at the start of the second half. Arkansas is set to kick off, but first, let's hear from a special commentator giving his thoughts on the game so far.
Well, Mr. President, Bud and I are so pleased that you came up into our office to pay us a visit at halftime.
Well, Chris, it's a little warmer up here than it is down the stands. But I must say, I've never seen a football game where there's more excitement in the air than there is today. This whole state is just alive. I can feel it. We stopped at an airport about an hour away by a car, and everybody there, it's all they're talking about, this game.
And of course, with their nickname, the Razorbacks, and the calling of the Hogs, it's the most unusual setting for this game.
I've never heard it yelled like that before, and I'm sitting incidentally in a very interesting spot. I have 4 Texas congressmen sitting back of me and 2 senators from Arkansas and a congressman, and believe me, there's a lot of rivalry here in the stands.
You know, you talk about the pep rallies, Mr. President. In Austin, the night before the team flew here, at the stadium, their pep rally for the Longhorns drew 28,000 fans, most of them students, and that's most heartwarming.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, looking at this game, it is for the ranking of number 1, incidentally. I say it is for that, having in mind the fact that Penn State's been giving me a lot of flack this week for coming down here to...
You getting wires?
Yes, but Penn State is the team that will have the longest undefeated streak for the year. And you've covered them, and I know they're a great team. Maybe we ought to have a Super College Bowl after this, but whatever the case might be, looking at these 2 teams today, either one is going to be number 1 and by the vote of the writers. But what is more important is the tremendous spirit that they've generated. It's good for people to be for somebody, to be for a team. And you can learn a lot from losing as well as winning. I've had a little experience in that.
Well, Mr. President, with the favored team, Texas, down 7-0 here at halftime. Now, that's true. The first half of your career, you were down, but boy, you came back a winner.
Well, I was down more than 7-0, I would say. Well, I know it was sort of a fourth quarter finish, you know, and a pass, perhaps in the last 30 seconds to win. But that's what counts.
Well, I'm one of many of the millions that are glad you won. Now, you've watched football for years, and I know you watch it from an analytical standpoint, whether it be on television or in person. Could you just predict maybe what might transpire in the second half?
Well, let me say first, the reason I watch it is that I sat on the bench when I was in college, and you learn a lot from the coach when you sit on the bench. As I look at this game in the first half, I think that Texas has enormous power that is really not unleashed yet, and that in the second half, they are likely to be much better offensively. However, they're not going to run over Arkansas. They can't do it by just going that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. The old Woody Hayes formula, not the Woody Hayes formula this year. I think they're going to have to throw more. They have an excellent passer. They're going to have to throw to open up the Arkansas defense. I think under those circumstances, they're likely to score once or twice. But also, I would suggest that Arkansas looks better offensively than I had realized. They could score in this second half. They have a fine passer. I don't think I've seen a cooler passer than Montgomery. He's really cool under very great pressure, and Texas has got a great pass rush. But Montgomery is cool. He gets out there and goes off. And I'd rather say that I expect both teams to score in the second half. The question is whether Texas's superior manpower, and I mean probably a stronger bench, may win in the last quarter. That's the way I see it.
Well, Mr. President, if Bud Wilkinson, our analyst, ever falters, we at ABC may call on you to do our commentary. Excellent.
I'm not thinking, Chris, of what I'm going to do when I finish my present job, but there's nothing I'd like better than to have Bud's job right with you. I like football. This is the first game I've seen this year in college football, and I'm glad it's the greatest of the year.
Well, you paid all of us a great deal of honor by coming to this, the #1 game of the year in the centennial year, and enjoy the second half.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Last year, Texas and Arkansas shared the Southwest Conference. This is for the championship of the conference right here today. Gets a good kick, McClure. Bring it down at the 9. That is Spire. 15, 20, 25, 30. Coming outside. Gets away again. And there is a loose ball. Arkansas has come up with it. One of the boys near it was number 28, Price. And look at those Razorback fans.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. Here's Spire with the ball. He's getting hemmed in. He moves to the outside, breaks the tackle, then tries to cut back inside, and he's hit hard from the blind side. The ball slipped loose. Arkansas takes over.
Now let's check the Texas defensive poise as Arkansas has the ball at the Texas 37. First down. Montgomery and goes right to the air. Dykes, number 20, was the receiver. He's the top catcher today for the Razorbacks. Danny Lester was covering them on the far side of the field. And on the third kick, if you just joined us, Cotton Spire had a good run back, gave it about the 5th effort, and then fumbled the ball. And knocking the ball loose for Arkansas was Steve Birdwell, with Ronnie Price recovering it. So here we are, second down and 10 for Arkansas at the Texas 37. And the fullback, Maxwell, perhaps a yard. And on the play, we have number 70 for Texas, that is White, and Glenn Halsell, number 67, and Greg Pletz, number 31. There's the offensive line, which has done a fine job today for Arkansas. Haven't seen too much of number 88, the tight end, Pat Morrison, but he's been blocking.
You will later in the game.
He's been blocking, and so now it's a third down and 10. And at the 42-yard line, David Arledge gets in on the quarterback. That's a loss of 5 yards, so it'll be 4th down and 15 as Bill Atessis pinched in from his left defensive end position. And we have a punting situation. Kerry Stockdale will punt, kicking from about midfield. The fine punt. Number 74 rushed down there hoping to cover it before it went across the goal line was Dossie. So it's out at the 20. We have a timeout here at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The score, Arkansas 7, Texas nothing. And following a touchback, Texas has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20.
And we'll see if Texas is going to loosen up their offense, or they're going to stay right with the straight-ahead, hard-driving attack.
And Spire to the far side. And it's Jim Bertelson keeping it on the ground for 4 yards. And Roger Harnish makes the tackle for Arkansas, bringing up actually a 3-yard gain to the 23. 2nd down and 7. Arkansas leads Texas 7-0 with about 13 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Spire at the top of your screen. Wishbone tee behind Jimmy Street. '72 Rick Hersey on the option by the quarterback, and Mike Machete making the stop on Street at the 28. 5-yard gain. It's 3rd down and 2.
Great execution, fine faking by Wooster. But the Arkansas pursuit recovers so well that they're holding Texas to short gains.
Spire again split to the right. They need 2 yards. And they called on Ted Coy, one of the captains, a senior from Belleville, Texas, from the Coy family. His dad, brother Ernie, played for the Longhorns.
And that was the power play. The first two plays came off the option. The defense, when they're standing high looking for the option, it's very tough to be down in there low enough to stop the Texas power drive off tackle.
Same formation. Wishbone tees to the right. This fire on the 32. Worcester loses the ball. Great pursuit to the Arkansas men up front. Bruce James in hard on the play, 85, and Powell 64 at the 35-yard line, 2nd and 7.
The measure of whether a team is ready to play is how many men are around the ball when the tackle is made. Arkansas has almost the whole team there, unless they have one halfback downfield with Spire if he's running a deep pattern.
Bertelsen way outside, Spire as a flanker. And that's Coy. Len Garner, one of the first men in, along with 49 Bobby Field, and Mike Boschetti, 59. Garner is 53. So the ball is right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 7. But they keep rushing the football, or trying to.
I believe we'll see them open it up the next time, Chris. As you come out of the dressing room to start a second half, you always want to go with what you've used well during the rest of the season.
Flanker right, split end left. Losing the ball, it's still loose. And Arkansas comes up with its 3rd fumble recovery. Number 24 is Terry Stewart.
Let's watch it again on the isolated camera. This is Spire breaking behind the linebacker, hooking, making a marvelous catch, and then losing the ball. It's kicked around by everyone, and Arkansas comes up with it. The 4th turnover by Texas.
Stewart now has an interception and a fumble recovery. Cliff Powell hit the ball carrier on the play. Arkansas at their own 47-yard line, 1st down. Determined Bill Burnett is in Texas territory. Make it a good block for Bruce Maxwell.
Let's watch the fumble again in slow motion. Spire driving down the field, a little outside wrinkle to get past the end who's dropped off. Then hooking to the inside as Street delivers the ball to him. He's hit as he catches the ball, but he makes a fine recovery to keep possession, and there it goes.
And Cliff Powell is having quite a game today, Bud, number 64. It's 2nd and 3rd now for the offensive team at the 46 of Texas. And 86 is Mike Campbell. At midfield, a loss of 4 yards, bringing up 3rd down and 7.
The Razorbacks using a little of the Texas option. They've run 2 successive quarterback option plays. Theirs is just a single option at the end rather than the inside option to the fullback and then the option on the end.
There's a look at Bill Montgomery. Getting away. Thanks to a block by Bruce Maxwell, Bill Montgomery has moved to the Texas 31.
Let's watch it again in dual isolation, and this will give you some idea of how the quarterback ought to operate. Dicus is on the right of the screen. Montgomery is set now. Dicus whirling. Montgomery, now the rush is on as Dicus goes to the ground. No one to throw to. Montgomery starts to run, but watch this nifty fake here. He faked the throw and ran right by the Texas end. Got off the hook. 1st down, Arkansas.
At the 31 of Texas, Maxwell, who threw the block. Carl White, number 70, shaken up on that last play. Well, we'll hope Carl White is okay. He's the boy from McKinney, Texas, who has played a fine game. Timeout here at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The score of the Razorbacks 7, the Longhorns nothing. White, fine young Texas lineman, injured his left knee, now being assisted to the far sideline as you see. 2nd down and 8 for Arkansas at the Texas 29.
Scott Palmer has come in for White. He wears number 65 on the Texas jersey. Here are the Razorbacks in the lead 7-0 with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Montgomery. Dicus. Touchdown. 29 yards. Three yards in 5 plays. The 12th touchdown pass for Bill Montgomery and a cool one to Dicus. Going to the point after now. McLaren is up and good. Let's see that play, but again in slow motion.
It's a beautiful play. Dicus to the right of your screen, starting downfield. Montgomery dropping back. This time, this is exclusive, of course, the split screen. Dicus taking a little inside break. Montgomery getting beautiful protection this time. And Dicus cuts to the inside. And Montgomery delivers the ball perfectly on target. Here's a great block. Beautiful block by Reese, and Dicus, or Morrison rather, and Dicus walks into the end zone. Great execution, marvelous play.
And for All-American Dicus, his 4th touchdown catch of the year. As we indicated, the 12th thrown by Montgomery, a 29-yard, and now Texas really 0-14. Bill McLaren with the wind to his back, with Spire and Bertelsen deep for the Longhorns. 9:06 remaining in the third quarter. It is Spire, 10, 15, 20, 25. And you notice how Spire double-hugged that ball, returning this kick where he's met by Birdwell of Arkansas and Hope at approximately the 28-yard line.
And there's the story of the game, Chris. Arkansas is executing very well, but the 4 turnovers by Texas have been the difference, giving Arkansas the edge needed for that 14-0 lead.
Now Spire to the far side. The wishbone tee from the 28, first down. Jimmy Street. Sometimes the sideline can be dangerous for Arkansas coaches. Bruce James, 85, and Lynn Garner forcing the play to the near sideline at about the 31-yard line, 2nd and 7. There is the knee of White, who was injured a little earlier, Carl White. Texas now changing their formation, the flank of the near side, split end opposite. Street. Coy blocking, and it is ruled a completed pass at midfield.
It was a marvelous throw. Street was truly rushed. Let's take a look at it again. New formation by Texas. Halfback split on one side, opposite Spire. Watch Spire now. Breaking to the outside. Stewart going back. Street truly hung that one in there. And he did it on the run from a hard rush.
1st and 10 for the Longhorns, near midfield. Spire set to the near side. And Bertelsen, the hard way to the Arkansas 49. Bumpus on the tackle, and James, number 85, getting up slowly.
And when Texas is in that wishbone tee, Arkansas has 10 men ready to come with the snap of the ball. They're all right on that line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 9 for Texas. They trail 14-0. He's going deep. It's floating out there. And another error by the Longhorns. The 5th. Dennis Berner comes up with this one.
Take a look at it again on the isolated camera. Here's Spire. It was an inside fake, in the fake of the hitch. Spire trying to get deep, but Moore going right with him, and Berner coming across to make the interception. The fake of the hitch did not work.
And that's his first interception of the year. Timely, with the offensive unit now led by number 10, quarterback Bill Montgomery, with the ball at the 24-yard line. First down, and with a 14-0 lead, 7:52 left in the third quarter. Dicus, the far side. On the flat there is Dicus. Well, the varied offense of the Razorbacks moving the ball out to the 39. Lester and Campbell on the tackle following about a 14-yard gain.
Let's take a look at it again in ABC's exclusive dual isolation. There's Burnett coming over the ball. Hitch pattern this time by Dicus. Burnett throwing beautifully to him. Little screen pattern. Here come the screen men to block. Dicus takes an inside fake, then rolls it to the outside.
All right, 1st and 10 from their own 38, Arkansas. And Bill Burnett blocked for the quarterback, Montgomery. Blocking backs, there's Burnett, 10, Montgomery, as Otessis makes the tackle after, let's see, a 1-yard gain.
We've seen Montgomery Thanksgiving Day and then today, and he's certainly come on strong. Early in the season, Montgomery had a torn rib cartilage. It didn't keep him from playing, but it was quite painful. Now that he's totally healed, believe me, he's some quarterback.
Dicus, who has 5 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown, is to the near side. 2nd and 9. And Bruce Maxwell, number 34, the 41, a gain of 2. It's 3rd down and 7. Otessis, 77, and Mike Campbell defensively for Texas. Dicus and Reese, 20 and 25 to the far side on 3rd and 7 from the Arkansas 41. There's Burnett, and Maxwell blocking. Burnett. It's 1st down, Razorbacks. Playing the Texas outside areas, Bill Montgomery. Coolness. With Maxwell throwing his 2nd important block. Burnett gets to the Texas 41.
Earlier in the year, Arkansas had gone with the power sweep. Today they're going with that option, and they make it look awfully good.
Going against a team that is number 8, rushing defense, allowing only 88 yards per game and 5 touchdowns overall. Texas. Montgomery now from the Texas 41. Delay.
And the delay caused by Texas changing their defense. Montgomery trying to change the offensive play and taking just a little bit too long to do it.
There's the signal. So that brings the ball back to the 46, where it'll be 1st down and 15 with 5:23 to go. 3rd quarter, 14-0. Arkansas, the underdog. Bill Montgomery directing Arkansas to a tie for the Southwest Conference crown last year and a Sugar Bowl win. 1st and 15, number 10. Burnett. One of the men making contact was Bill Zapalak, number 80, and Scott Henderson, number 61, as Montgomery has completed 6 of 10, including a 29-yard touchdown pass to Chuck Dicus. 5-yard gain at his 2nd down and 10, 3rd quarter. Reese all alone to the far side. Dicus opposite. Flanker and a split end. Burnett. Hammers and Dossie blocking forward. And the advances to the 37. That's a gain of 4. 3rd down and 6.
And the yards are very important now because of McClard's great field goal ability. He's got a strong leg. He could probably make one from here if he hit it just right.
And those two potential receivers to the near side, Dicus and Reese on 3rd and 6. And a fine defensive play. Both by the defensive secondary covering the receivers is Villatessa's 77 and 65 in white. Scott Palmer. Get Montgomery at the 42. That's a loss of 5, so that brings up a 4th down and 11. Arkansas, their field goal kicker is Bill McClard, who has kicked 7 of 9, but too far away in this case. And with a 14-0 lead, here comes a McClard punt. Steinmark in single safety for Texas. It's a touchback. So it'll be the Longhorns with the ball at their own 20. Cheer from the Texas Rooters here in Arkansas. An upset in the making. But the nation's #1 team, Texas, has the ball at its own 20. 1st and 10. 14-0. They trail. And Worcester comes out for about 4 yards. Dick Bumpus on the tackle and Flip Powell. So it's 2nd and 6 now for Texas. .304 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Fire to the near side. And Bertelsen out of bounds at about the 31. And let's see if he gained enough for the 1st down. It appears he did. Yes. Moschetti and Field going lateral on the play.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. There's the great fake over the ball. And Worcester, you can see, is being played very hard. The pitch by Street back to Bertelsen, who made a fine move, cutting inside and threading his way forward for the 1st down.
Texas now from the 31. And that was Jimmy Street trying to loosen up the tough Arkansas defense. Glenn Garner on the tackle. The carry is out to the 32, or rather, make it the 37-yard line. After a 6-yard gain, it's 2nd and 4. About 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Worcester. And it's looks like a 1st down. And the signal.
And Worcester was hurt on the play, Chris. He's had a pulled hamstring. It looks like he pulled it again.
So coming in the lineup is number 46, Bobby Callison, a junior from Abilene. There's Worcester. Texas with 206 yards total offense. Arkansas 212. Texas has had 5 errors, however. From the 44. Bobby Callison going to work immediately. Bruce James stopping him at the 49, a gain of 5. 2nd and 5, Texas. Spire at the top of your screen. There's Cliff Powell, number 64, on Callison.
And thus far, the Arkansas defensive plan has worked perfectly. They've had great field position all afternoon. The best position Texas has had the ball is on their own 37 and change. They've had it most of the time on their own 20. And Arkansas is shutting off the long gainer.
But if we felt the Arkansas fans were confident, the Arkansas team is really confident today. From the 49 now, it's 3rd down and 5 for Texas. And it's completed somewhere in the vicinity of the 43. Enough for a Texas 1st down as Spire makes the catch. Burner on the tackle.
Let's watch it again on isolated camera, slow motion. This isn't against the grain pattern. The quarterback Street is rolling to the right of the screen as Spire cuts across very shallow. Street set up, and you can see the Arkansas defensive men started to move to the left of the screen. They come back. Street threw a strike.
The time-consuming drive. 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Arkansas 44. Bobby Callison, substitute fullback, to the 42, and Cliff Powell again on the tackle as time expires. The end of the third quarter here at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The score: the Razorbacks 14, Texas nothing. The Commander-in-Chief, who following this game will present a plaque to the winning team, and on Monday night at 9 p.m. ABC will carry his live and in color press conference. Now it's 2nd and 9 for Texas. Start of the fourth quarter. Jimmy Street in trouble. Gets away. There he goes. And Texas is on the scoreboard. 42 yards. A resourceful run by the quarterback.
Here it is again. Street back to throw. Everyone covered, he runs, and when you're coaching, this is what gives you gray hairs. You have a quarterback with individual brilliance break a touchdown play when it should have been a loss, and that's what Montgomery's been doing all afternoon for Arkansas also. Two great quarterbacks, Street and Montgomery.
Well, it took him about 13 seconds to go 42 yards, and now they are going for two. And Street. Heads-up play by Jimmy Street. He has just made 8 points for the nation's #1 team. And on the play, number 72, Rick Kersey, the defensive left tackle for Arkansas, was injured. So it is 14-8 here. 80 yards in 9 plays, a 42-yard run by Jimmy Street, his 5th touchdown rushing this year. 47 seconds remaining in the ball game, Bud.
And the fortunes of war change.
Right. It's time out here at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas, with a score: Arkansas 14, Texas 8.
The College Football Classic on ESPN Classic.
In a V-like receiving formation, Bill Burnett, Mike Hendren, and Bruce Maxwell on the far side. Following a Texas touchdown, and the try for two is successful. It's 14-8 Arkansas. This is Happy Feller. Kicking to Arkansas. 14:47 left in the game. Don't go away. That was Burnett, number 33, watching it go across the end line. It's a touchback, and Arkansas will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20.
And Bud, third quarter statistics. Very close game. Texas winning more plays, but the total yards, very interesting. Texas 218, Arkansas 212. The big difference, the turnovers. Texas having made 5 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles. Arkansas none. Time of possession almost even. 22-40 for Texas, 22-20 for Arkansas.
And now for Arkansas that led 14-0, now 14-8. 2 men to the far side. Dicus and Reese. Montgomery the quarterback from the 20. And Burnett squirts away for perhaps 2 yards. Tessis hit him first. Then Greg Pletz, number 31 of the Texas defense. And actually gained a half a yard. So it's 2nd down, 9 1/2. As we look at Montgomery, who checks the signal from his head coach, Frank Broyles, a Georgia Tech product, a native of Decatur, Georgia. Dicus and Reese again to the far side. Morrison out on a pattern. And it's Dicus. Tackled by Danny Lester. Out at the 41. 21-yard play.
ABC exclusive dual isolation again. Montgomery dropping back. Dicus driving down the field. Montgomery setting. Dicus a little outside fake. Breaking to the inside. Great pass protection. Fine throw by Montgomery. He hits Dicus right on the letters. 1st down, Arkansas.
Dicus 6 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. 1st down, Montgomery. Burnett. Maxwell blocking again.
This is a key possession for Arkansas. Texas needs to stop them because it takes them quite a while to score the way they move it out. If Arkansas can keep possession and move it, Texas is in trouble.
The last march by Texas, 80 yards in 9 plays. The big play coming, a 42-yard run by the quarterback for the score, and then Jimmy Street also scored the 2-point conversion. 14-8, and what a call, what a decision by Coach Darrell Royal and his team to go for 2 at that spot. Bill Montgomery now calling signal from the 44. Whoop. David Arledge on the tackle at the 47.
Usually you talk about the 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 being the big downs, but this, I guess it's 3rd and 6, isn't it, Chris? 3rd and 4,
3rd and 4,
the
yeah.
real big one.
Here it is. Arkansas, as you see, they're in their own territory at the 47, and they have a 14-8 lead with 12:44 left in the game. And here's that 3rd down pass down the middle, and it was complete to Dicus. Covering on the play with a marker down now, Richardson. Let's see what the penalty will be back at the line of scrimmage. Earlier, there was a touchdown recalled earlier in the game. Montgomery to Dicus as a result of a penalty. And here's a procedure call against the offense. 3rd and 9.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. As Montgomery drops back, watch the marvelous protection by the Arkansas line. He's just standing there all day, and Dicus has now plenty of time to run the pattern, breaking to the inside, past the Texas linebackers as Montgomery hits him.
Well, in the last 10 years, Texas and Arkansas have won or shared the Southwest Conference crown 8 times. They're going after it again today. 3rd and 9, and at the same spot, he hits Dicus. Campbell on the tackle, and it's the 38th catch by Dicus this year.
Let's watch it again on dual isolation. This is what you call threading the needle. Montgomery back, Texas rushing with 4 men. Dicus breaking to the inside, then breaking downfield again, and then coming back across the field as Montgomery has all day to throw it. And watch that ball zip between the 2 defenders.
Nearly 20 yards and a 1st down. The play now coming from the Texas 38. Montgomery. And in on the play is number 84, Tom Campbell. John Reese, number 25 of Jonesboro, Arkansas, made the stop. 1st down.
Here it is again. Watch Reese breaking to the outside here, then turning back to the inside, moving back, and here comes the ball. A very hard pattern to cover. The comeback pass after you've driven downfield fast.
Montgomery is now 9 of 13 and 169 yards from the Texas 24. Bill decides to call time to get things a little better organized, as the Arkansas Razorbacks have a 14-8 lead with 11:40 remaining in the ball game. Now Montgomery will talk to Coach Frank Broyles, who's won 1 national championship, 6 conference crowns, 7 bowl appearances.
And when Arkansas had to move it, Chris, they certainly have. They're down within field goal range now.
And it's at the 24. Honor student and a pre-law student, Bill Montgomery from Carrollton, Texas, number 10. Has a 1st and 10 at the Texas 24. Dicus and Reese to this side, the near side. Lofting one to Dicus, and a marker is down in the secondary.
Texas decided to go with the rush that time. Man-to-man coverage against the rush. And the man-to-man coverage, Chris, I believe, is going to be an interference call.
Yes, either that or holding, it appears now, as the referee, Carl Landis, the umpire, Bruno Schroeder. Stepping off the yardage. It's holding against the defensive team. And it's a first down. And let's see where the ball is spotted.
Let's watch it again. Here's Dicus on the left of the screen going downfield. And this is Steinmark coming up on man-to-man coverage. He didn't want to let him get by. And you can see him holding him as the rush is on Montgomery. But there's no question about that call.
First and goal from the 9. Montgomery. He, however, gains 3 yards on the play. Scott Palmer on the tackle. Now it's second and goal with the ball at the 7. Pickup of 2 with 11:15 remaining in the game. It's Arkansas 14, Texas 8. Texas number 1, Arkansas number 2, in the AP poll number 3, and UP with Penn State second. Nevertheless, the Razorbacks second and goal. A good rush, causing the pass to be short. And rushing was number 89, a sophomore from Richardson, Texas, 5'11". His name is David Arledge. Dicus, the intended receiver. Third down and goal. 44,000 here on a gray, cold afternoon in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the foothill of the Ozarks. As the Hogs and Steers are battling it out. It's a shootout. Morrison, the tight end, slightly split to the far side. Dicus opposite. And Texas gets an interception.
Believe me, that was
What an interception. Danny Lester, number 23. And Bud, here we go for more excitement.
Let's watch the dual isolation because this is truly a key play. Dicus on the left, Montgomery rolling to the bottom of the screen. Dicus breaks to the outside. He appears to be open. The pass is just slightly underthrown, and there is the interception by Lester. It prevented the field goal, and Texas has the ball.
From the 20, first down. Getting to Ted Coy. Lynn Garner, middle linebacker, number 53, really carrying the action outside offensively. And Ted Coy, strong. The halfback got 2 yards to the 22, second and 8.
That's the way the defense to play, though, Chris. Drift it out, delay the decision. Let the pursuit get there. By pursuit, we mean the defensive linemen and linebackers knowing where the ball is and using their speed and reaction to get to it.
Worcester now back in at fullback, averaging 5 yards a carry coming into the game. And there he is. And getting out to the 26 for 4. 64 is Cliff Powell of Eudora, Arkansas. Texas now has 200 rushing yards. A little more than 10 minutes remaining in the game. Third down and 4. As you see, the ball is at the Texas 26. Ted Coy, flanker outside the split end, Cotton Spire. It's complete to Randy Peschel, who gets his first catch of the day, number 40. And for the Longhorns, who started this drive at the 20, they have come out to the 41 on a 15-yard play on a first and 10.
Chris, I think you can feel the tension in the stadium. I'm sure that noise factor makes everyone at home realize it.
Jimmy Street now, who came up with a 8-point play minutes ago, is 5 of 9 passing, now from his own 41. On the end around, this is Spire. He's at the 40-45 midfield into the Arkansas 45. About a 14-yard play.
Marvelous block by Bob McKay, dropping back. Let's take a look at it again. This starts just like the triple option play. There's Spire coming back to the split end, and there's a little toss. Great block there. Fine pursuit again by Arkansas to prevent a touchdown run.
At the Arkansas 45 now. The 5th play in this drive. First down. Ted Coy Stopped by Cliff Powell inside the Arkansas 40, 39-yard line, and there's 39 hash mark, we should say. So it brings up a 2nd down and 4 as we look at Worcester number 30 and some of the Longhorn cheerleaders. Bertelsen is flanked to the far side, and to the near side it is Spire. And Jimmy Street wanted to talk things over with head coach Darrell Royal. Darrell of Oklahoma fame, who has won 106 games.
You're watching the night.
On the clock, 8 minutes and 42 seconds of tension remaining here. As the nation's #1 team, Texas, is down by 6 points. They have the ball, 2nd and 4. They're in white at the Arkansas 39. Bertelsen to the far side. With Worcester, Jim Strait, the quarterback, keeps it on the ground. Garner, Bruce James, tackling.
An unusual formation by Texas with 2 wide split receivers. Arkansas refused to go for the fake of the formation, stayed in tough against the run.
They gained less than a yard on that rushing play, so it brings up a 3rd down and still about 4. Street looking over the Arkansas defense as it shifts now. Ted Coy. Ted Coy. And Arkansas has recovered another long fumble.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. It's the option play. There's the fake to Worcester. Street is hit and tries to lateral as he's going to the ground. The ball was slightly overthrown. Coy can't quite control it, and as he reaches for it, he's hit. The momentum causes the ball to slide away from him, and Arkansas recovers.
Gordon McNulty picking up the 4th fumble against Texas from the 42. Arkansas's Burnett, number 33, stopped in a hurry by number 31 Greg Pletz and number 65 Palmer. 7:40 left in the game. Arkansas 14, Texas 8. With the ball at the 42. 2nd down and 10. Dicus comes to the near side, and he's in the slot between the tackle and Reese, the split end. Burnett for about 2. Let's on the tackle for the Longhorns. A little more than a yard gain, so it'll be 3rd down and about 9. Rick Neighbors of Austin is in at safety, replacing Fred Steinmark. There you see 6 errors by Texas, 1 by Arkansas. 3rd down and about 9. And Montgomery. And the Texas defense led by David Arledge. Number 89, in on the play, 77, Bill Atessis.
It's a great series by the Texas defense. Perhaps the momentum will carry over to the offense.
4th down and 16. Line of scrimmage at the Arkansas 36. 6 minutes, 27 seconds left in the ball game, and time becoming very important. Gary Stockdale will punt. Spire is deep for the Longhorns, and Stockdale comes through with a fine punt and a fair catch called for by Spire at the 36. So the Longhorns now have really a job ahead of them. They'll have to move 64 yards in order to get on the scoreboard and into the lead. Ted Coy from the 36, maybe a yard. Bruce James, a native of Moss Point, Mississippi. And Terry Don Phillips at the, well, let's call it the 38, so 2nd down and 8. Well, a lot lot of faking on that play.
And you could see the men tackling the men that didn't have the ball, which is the clue to the type of defense that Arkansas has been playing all afternoon, going for the men who might have the ball off the three-way Texas option.
Ted Coy to the 41. That's a 3-yard gain, and it's 3rd down and 5. Spire to the near side. 3rd and 5 for the Longhorns. About 5 minutes left in the game. And Worcester did not make the first down, missed it by 2.5 yards. Terry Don Phillips defensively, along with Dick Bumpus for the Razorbacks. And time has been called by the Longhorns as they have the ball at the 44 with a 4th down coming up and a little more than 2. It's timeout. Fayetteville, Arkansas, the score. The Razorbacks 14, the Longhorns 8.
You're watching.
In this Southwest Conference battle, 4:47 to go. Arkansas leading 14-8. Her face certainly reflecting the team she's rooting for, Texas. As we have now, a most crucial 4th down play again for the Longhorns at their own 43.5. And going for broke to Randy Peschel, and Peschel catches the ball. What a toss. Randy Peschel. A play carried from the Texas 43.5 to the Arkansas 13 first down.
And that was courage, Chris. Putting the game in the season on that one play and going for the big ball.
In the national championship, perhaps, Bud. 1st and 10 now for the Longhorns with 4:26 left from the 13 of Arkansas. That is Ted Coy, whose brother Ernie preceded him in the Longhorn backfield, and their father, Ernie Sr., was a Longhorn player.
Let's watch it.
Go ahead.
Slow motion. This is the power play. You can see the booster driving in and leading. There goes Bertelsen making a great block. Coy going off Bertelsen's block, then cutting back to the outside, breaking the tackle, and moving to a first down on the 2-yard line.
Spire to the near side. 1st and goal. Touchdown, Longhorns, and they have the lead. Or a tie, rather. 14-14 with a point after or 2 coming up. 64 yards, 6 plays. And the key, a terrific pass and a clutch catch by Randy Peschel, a senior from Austin. And now, Happy Feller, who has kicked 42 of 44 extra points. This is a big one. It's up. Texas for the first time with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game. They have the lead by 1.
With Arkansas, there's plenty of time with the type of offense that they have. Texas with 3:58 starting deep with their grinded out attack might have a little more trouble.
Happy Feller's kick now. There's Bill Burnett. Letting it go through across the end line for an automatic touchback. And Bud, with 6 errors, it takes a team with a great deal of poise to come back 14-0 and go ahead 15-14.
Takes a great deal of courage to throw the long ball on 4th and 4 from your own territory.
And that call going for 2 on the first touchdown by Darrell Royal and his quarterback, that to me is one of the real gutty calls I've seen in a long time.
Many coaches, Chris, would wait for the second touchdown to go for 2. And by going for it on the first snap, I think you change the pace on them a little bit.
All right, now Arkansas, they've got to go 80 yards or get within field goal range from the 20. Here's Bill Montgomery. To Dicus. Out to the 25, and you notice, Chuck, he tried to get an extra yard there, but he had actually moved the ball up to the spot, 25, where Scott Henderson makes the stop. Montgomery now has thrown 16 times. He's completed 10 for 169 yards, 1 touchdown to Dicus. Street is 7 of 11 at 120 yards. 2nd down and 5 for Arkansas. Montgomery. Intended for number 88, Pat Morrison. 3rd down and 5.
Texas wondering, should we go with the rush and should we try to cover? They have been playing the cover most of the time. A 4-man rush, 7 men covering.
Bill Montgomery looking at Frank Broyles, the head coach. Darrell Royal and Frank Broyles, 2 close friends, but how they battle when their teams meet and when the championship is at stake. 3rd and 5. And Dicus, with his 9th catch of the afternoon, only for a few yards, as Glenn Halsell makes the tackle at the 29. A gain of 4, so it's 4th down and 1, Bud.
There's not much doubt what they'll do here, Chris. They have to go for it.
Right here, we'd like to thank our NCAA Television Committee Chairman Forrest Evashevsky and to Larry Klein, Director of NCAA Sports Services, for their assistance throughout this centennial year of college football. It's been a fantastic year. We have a lot of bowl games to go, like the Liberty next week. And, of course, the East-West. And then the Sugar Bowl, Mississippi, to meet the team that comes out on the short end of this score today.
Both of them are great teams, Chris. I think everyone shares that view.
And then, of course, for a little respite, we hope, Hawaii for the Hula Bowl on January 10th.
Unusual call here. Arkansas with 4th and 1 did not take the timeout. Texas did, trying to decide what defensive pattern they wanted to use on this crucial down.
Wow. Well, there's one thing for sure. It isn't necessary to have a stimulant here today because the action has provided it. There you see Bill Montgomery now. 4th, and when I say 1 yard, let me point out that it's short 1. It actually, Bud, it looks more like 2 feet.
It's about that, and Arkansas...
Less than that.
They can go for the safe 1st down and then have 1st and 10 again, or they might try to go for the big one. I doubt it. It's a high formation.
2:51 left in the game. They trail by 1. And Bill Burnett. Let's see where they unpiled. 1st down for the Razorbacks. Scott Palmer and Glenn Halsell on the tackle. Now Reese, number 25, goes to the far side. 2:37, the clock running remaining. From the 30. Bill Burnett. Bill Burnett catching his first pass today, but he's certainly had a great job moving the ball on the AstroTurf.
I think we ought to mention again about the great pass protection of Arkansas. When Texas is going with the normal 4-man rush, Montgomery is not pressured in any way.
Friendly Arkansas, Bud. They really are most hospitable here in this scenic country. Great place to visit. 2nd down and less than a yard. And there's a Bill Montgomery 1st down. And a lost shoe. These shoes are different, especially the way they're shot on the soles for this artificial surface. But
before the game, Darrell was saying if it rains, well, we will wear our cleats, but if the field stays like it is now, which is quite dry, we'll go with our normal rubber-soled shoes.
All right, still doing a little work on that shoe as we have a timeout at Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the score is Texas 15, Arkansas 14.
to go. 15-14 Texas. By far the lowest scoring total of either team this year. Texas averaging 44 per game. Arkansas averaging 35. And now Arkansas trailing by 1 with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. Bruce Maxwell, the fullback, and a sure tackle by number 61, Scott Henderson of Dallas.
And once again, the draw play, Chris, but Texas was waiting for it.
2nd down and 9. The Razorbacks sending Reese to the far side, Dicus to the near side. 2nd and 9. And Burnett catches his 2nd pass of the afternoon, his 8th pass of the year, with Henderson, 61, forcing him out of bounds. And the Razorbacks are in Texas territory with a 1st down at the Texas 46, 1 minute and 51 to go. Montgomery has thrown 20 times, completing 13, 65% today with a touchdown pass to Dicus. The other touchdown for Arkansas was scored by Burnett. In the 1st period for Texas, it was Street. And Arkansas now it's complete to Burnett.
And once again, that delayed pattern out of the backfield is getting Burnett open outside of the Texas defensive end.
And that gain was to the 39, a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3, a minute 31 remaining in the game. Arkansas is trailing by 1 point. Dicus and Reese to the far side. Montgomery again wants to talk to the coach.
He took a look at the defense, Chris. Texas was up ready to give it the rush. I don't think he wanted to take a chance on checking signals with the crowd noise. Arkansas unofficially has 1 more timeout remaining.
Well, since Frank Broyles of Arkansas and Darrell Royal have coached in the Southwest Conference, each has won 88 games, Bud, and they go after each other that way on the golf course because in the last 3 years, either Darrell Royal or Frank Broyles have won the Coaches Invitational Tournament at Bella Vista here in Arkansas, which is quite an annual affair. And here today, it's 15-14, and we hope everyone has enjoyed the game. We certainly enjoyed working with Athletic Director and Head Coach Darrell Royal, Sports Information Director Jones Ramsey, and Head Coach Frank Broyles, his staff, Athletic Director John Barnhill, and Jim Bell, the SID here at Arkansas. Now with a 2nd and 3, a minute 22 to go. Here is Bill Montgomery. Trying to get Reese. Texas has come up with the big play. And very fitting, Tom Campbell, he and his twin brother, Mike, are in the secondary for the Texas Longhorns, and their father is Darrell Royal's chief assistant.
And that's their father jumping there, Chris.
And
that's dejection, Chris. 2 boys who have played marvelous games, Montgomery and Maxwell, knowing that with a minute and 13 seconds left, there's very little chance to have the football again unless Texas fumbles.
With the ball now at the 21. Jimmy Street, who scored a touchdown and went for 2 to make it 14-8, then came back to get another touchdown on the board. And Worcester trying to run out the clock, staying on the turf. Let's look at that interception again.
There have been many key plays, but none more important than this one. Reese breaking down the field. There's the outside break. Campbell moves in front, and Campbell comes up with the ball. Watch a little joy explode on the Texas players.
And a 2nd down and 9 from the 22. Texas moving it on the ground, and the clock moves with them. 31 seconds to go. President Richard Nixon will be in the winner's dressing room, and our ABC live color cameras are there. Bill Fleming. So I think it'll be a scene that you would certainly like as the final touch to this, the game of the year.
as the nation's #1 team. Texas had to come from behind 14-0 to go ahead 15-14 as the clock is stopped unofficially on the board to our right, the south end of Razorback Stadium, 6 seconds to go. So there it is. Jubilant Longhorns from Austin, Texas. And the eyes of Texas will undoubtedly be heard very, very soon on the far side of the field. It was a song written in 1903 by John Lang Sinclair. Let's listen. Coach Frank Broyles, and it's a sad afternoon for Frank, the father of 6. Now to our colleague, Bill Fleming.
I will be back. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
And tears of joy streaming down the cheeks of the Texas Longhorns, who have won the big one the hard way. Darrell, let's just get a word with you here. It's one of the greatest victories in all of Texas history.
Well, I didn't know if we just kept turning the ball over. I just don't know what to say.
I know in just a few minutes, Darrell, President Nixon will be here to congratulate you and your boys. I'm sure during that time you'll have a chance just to think and reflect about what this really means to you.
Well, I already know.
Right. Darrell Royal, the head football coach at the University of Texas, absolutely flabbergasted at this victory. As you know, the Longhorns had to come from behind. They trailed at one point 14-0. And then made the big gamble in going for 2 after making the touchdown and then winning it 15-14. We understand the president is making his way down toward the dressing room. So, Chris and Bud, if you have anything you want to add to this as a postscript, feel free to do so.
Well, Bill, as we had mentioned earlier, and you just brought up that 2-point conversion play following a Jimmy Street touchdown, which was sensational in itself, 42 yards. That had to be one of the most courageous calls I think I've ever seen in all over 400 games that we've had the pleasure of televising. And with this the centennial year, I'll just have to say that when you do college football, the goosebumps come often. And today was just another one of those examples. And for Darrell Royal, I know that he had a little bit of superstition. I know him very well. This was his 13th year as head coach, Bill, at Texas. And just like all of us, I guess occasionally get superstitious, and I'm sure when he was down 14-0, he could see a national championship fleeting.
Here comes the president, Chris. This is a moment, of course, that these young men have been waiting for. The president of the United States has come into their dressing room, and now they have quieted down considerably, as you can hear, and are greeting him singly as he makes his way toward Darrell Royal and congratulates him. Darrell, taking the sincere good wishes from the president, and they will be making their way up here to the platform for a more formal presentation. Every one of the boys anxious to shake the hand of the president. And he, in turn, very anxious to shake theirs. Now he's coming up. Mr. President. How you doing, sir? Darrell, can we get Darrell up here? I know you have a presentation to make. James Street is here. Coy. Darrell? Coach? Here he comes. You chose yourself a football game to attend, didn't you?
Here we go. Well, one of the great games of all time, without question. And I was up in the booth, the ABC booth, at halftime, and incidentally, I got to brag a little. I asked me what was going to happen the second half. Said both teams were going to score, but that I thought that what would really determine the second half would be whether Texas had the ability in the fourth quarter to come through, and you did.
Mr. President,
how do you feel?
I've got to be the happiest guy in America tonight.
Well, I just want to say this in presenting the plaque. Presenting this plaque, I want to say first that the AP and the UPI will name Texas #1, as we know, after this game. And this is a great honor in the 100th year of football. I also want to say that having seen this game, what convinced me that Texas deserves that is the fact that you won a tough one. For a team to be behind 14-0 and then not to lose its cool and to go on to win, that proves you deserve to be #1, and that's what you are.
Mr. President, it's a great thrill. It's a great thrill for us to win the football game, but the big thrill, I know I speak for all of our squad, is for the President of the United States to take time to endorse college football and to honor you with your presence in our locker room. This is a big moment in all of our lives, and I'm speaking for the coaching staff and all the players.
I want all of you to know that we didn't make up the plaque in advance. It doesn't say what team, and I'm taking it back to Washington and put in Texas. If I could add one thing, Darrell, while we're talking here. I do want to say that Penn State, of course, felt that I was a little premature in suggesting this, so we're going to present a plaque to Penn State as the team in the 100th year with the longest undefeated untied. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
And so a move unprecedented in college football as the President of the United States has appeared in the dressing room of the nation's #1 team on this final day of this centennial year of college football, 1969.